A lot of agents are people that are currently in a good job, whatever that means, right? You know, $25,000, $30,000 salary, $40,000 salary with benefits, right?
That comfort zone.
That comfort zone, that after college, look what I got, I have this. A lot of times they're afraid to ask the people they trust or lean on the most, or their mentor or somebody that they can depend on what their opinion is or what it is, because sometimes it can take that nudge, and then all of a sudden your life is completely changed to get through that.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Life Insurance Academy podcast. We have a treat for you.
Give it to him.
Yes, we do. We have a shining star, Mr. Aaron Hicks.
Man, what an introduction.
Yeah, man. We have we wanted to bring Aaron on to give you guys a perspective of a new agent who's really hitting the ground running for you and your agents, what you can expect for them and how to get them rolling here. So we got some great stuff with Aaron today. We're excited to have him.
Man. I love doing this. This is a lot of fun, simply because we can have different people from different stages in the business. You know, like we had Trey Wright a few weeks back. Trey Wright was here for a few months.
Yep.
Right. We've had veterans on here that's been in the industry for years, and it's cool to see all the different perspectives. But I'm definitely interested to hear what Aaron has to say today. I'm gonna pick his brain a little bit, because I do know Aaron personally, and he's been in the business. He's been through the gauntlet. I'd say the gauntlet is the 1 year mark, right? I mean, we talk about 8%, right? That actually people make it in their first year in this industry, and a lot of people fall out. We don't have a lot of people right at the 1 year mark on the podcast, so this would be a cool perspective because a lot of it's fresh on his mind, or hope it is. I guess we'll find out if it's fresh on his mind of what it takes, what he went through, and how that can apply to agents right now that are maybe in their car driving around and trying to figure out, hey, I'm still in this time. I'm going through a very high right now, or I'm going through a low. What do I need to do to sustain myself and move forward, really?
Yeah. What I have here, just to give you a proper introduction, some little known facts about Aaron. Aaron originally is from Norway, moved here a year ago, so English is his second language. And he's also, for the last 13 years, trained Yorkie Poos professionally. So a lot of people didn't know this stuff.
Don't be giving away all my secrets now, Chris.
Okay. I'm kidding. I like to make up random facts about people. So.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Instead of Norway, it's actually northern Kentucky. But, instead of poodles, it was actually German shepherds.
There you go, man. Northern Kentucky can kind of sound like Norway.
Details from detail.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Details delay.
But all seriousness, I know, I'll tell you one thing is really cool is Aaron, and you can speak to this a little bit, but when you talk about like what you have accomplished in your first year, a lot of people don't know this, and we have all different personalities on here, which is cool. Aaron is more reserved. He's very, very similar to my personality, I would say. He's not the fully excited, fully animated. I haven't seen him do any backflips.
Give us a woo.
I'll tell you right now, I like to try to keep it level-headed.
Can we get a woo?
We need a woo.
A woohoo. There we go. There it is.
Hey,
I'll give you a woo.
I'll
give you a woohoo.
Hey, I will say, at Christmas parties, he does some mean karaoke.
He does.
He does mean karaoke. But, man, he will never say this. He will never brag on himself. You'll never hear that. But this man is consistent as anybody. Every single week when he's out there, you can guarantee he's going to be near the top of the leaderboard. You can guarantee it's going to be around 5,000 a week or more. And one thing's cool in his very first year, and Brian Askins talks about this all the time, is you only get one shot, one chance to be the Rookie of the Year. And Aaron actually got a chance to receive that award, and I believe he did over $110,000 in his very first year, and wasn't quite even a full year at the point when he won the award. he was 3/4 of the year away in and got to achieve that. So that was pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, and I started in right around April. And I will tell you this, Zach, I took maybe about a month or two off because I enjoyed the flexibility that comes with the job, the position itself. And but sometimes you can let that get to you a little bit too much because too much freedom can sometimes be.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute because in my opinion, I've seen a ton of agents come into the industry, and I've seen a ton of agents exit the industry. And Chris can attest to this. He's always on my side there. But a lot of agents, for some reason or another, maybe you can tell me why, is they move into this industry and they're so excited about the income potential that we can make, and then all of a sudden they all take lengthy vacations. They take all this time off. That's crazy.
They could just, they get that little piece of success at the start, I feel like. And then you get that and you want to just take that time off. And then when you feel like you can come back and just start right back where you left off, sometimes it takes a few weeks or sometimes maybe even a month to get back on your feet to what you were producing-wise. So I learned that real quick just starting out. Is just you really need to keep in a good flow itself and not take too much time to yourself. But you do have that freedom.
Absolutely.
I do think people are used to, right or wrong, they're used to having a schedule that is dictated for them, right? So they're used to somebody telling them where to be at a specific time for their job on a regular basis. There's consequences if they don't show up. They have to answer to the boss or the foreman or whoever it is. Yeah. And you're right. I think they get overwhelmed with the freedom in this, and that voice isn't on the phone saying, "Where are you? Why aren't you here?" And they're running, doing their own thing, and they think that success is always going to be there. What was that? Did you ever have a time where you did take some time off? You said about 2 months early. I mean, that's like 8 weeks for the year.
He worked.
It was
by the way,
periodically.
he only worked like 9 months.
Listen, it was periodically, like maybe a week here and then maybe a week there. But no, you slowly start seeing, you catch yourself doing this almost in my first year too. Like your 9 o'clock start time starts turning into, okay, maybe a 10 o'clock start time. And now all of a sudden, now I'm not getting out till 11. Oh, now look at the clock. I'm doing things, and now it's noon already, and I haven't even made my first knock. And you catch yourself doing that, and you got to have self-discipline. That's a really big thing.
How do you reel yourself back in?
For me, it was just going back to the basics. Going back to the basics is seeing what made me successful with my start. Because my first 3 months, I produced almost just about $50,000 in issue paid. When you're excited, it's new. I had some past sales experience, but just you want to go all. For me, it was going all out, starting out.
Yeah.
But then once you see that, and maybe I'll take a week off here, and I'll take a week off here, and then you start letting yourself slide, and so it's a slippery slope.
Not to call you out or anything, but your first year, you worked 8 months till the year was over, and you took 2 months off. So a week here and week here, you basically took off a week every month.
That's it. Just about. It's all right. It's all right.
But that's awesome. And you're a fairly young guy. Are you 26? 26. And I know you got a lot of exciting things coming up. But can you share a little bit about your background as far as you said you had some sales experience? What was that like? How did that relate? Finishing up college, kind of how did you even get into this?
Oh man, coming out of college, I feel like a lot of college students, you don't know what you're going to do after it. To be honest, I just got a general business degree, and my first experience coming out of college was sales. I answered to this job ad on Indeed, and you're going to laugh at the title of it, but it was called "The Last Sales Job You Will Ever Have." And you would think it would be what you would think it was.
That's
this.
a good thing or a bad thing.
Right, exactly. And I'm excited. And it says income over 100,000, and I'm young. I'm just out, and I go and do an interview, and I'll tell you what this job is. It's selling whole home water filtration systems, and I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Everybody drinks water.
Yeah, right.
There's a need for it.
Right? There's a need for it. And it's RainSoft systems, and they purify your entire house.
Are you trying to sell me right now?
I'm about to start selling you one right now. Actually, they are good systems. I will tell you this. I will tell you this, but no, this job almost scarred me from door-to-door sales, and I will tell you this, Zach, it made me hesitant because I didn't even jump at this opportunity of insurance the first time it was presented to me. I think
Was it a lead-based system?
it was a lead-based system. Yes,
Okay.
it was
So
a
you
lead
would-
setting appointments.
Somebody.
I had an appointment setter.
Okay.
And I
you'd
would
show
go-
up and you'd say, "Hey, your water sucks."
I would show up with
it
my.
sounds like you need some water.
I
huh?
would show up with my entire suitcase. You'd think I was a chemist. Okay. And
Okay.
I'd go in and I'd test these families' water. You know,
All right.
show them how hard it is, and what these systems, how they could benefit them, basically. And I wouldn't tell them until the very end, until it's, after I had done a whole presentation, built good core, and then that these systems are about $7,900. You're laughing now, and I did get laughed out the door a few times, I will tell you
Bet
that.
Waterboy would have outsold you.
Well, hey, it was only payments, all right, of $79.99 a month.
These are some
There
high
you
quality H2O.
The water boy. That's right.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
I can imagine. And how was that client base compared to a final expense client?
Actually, it was sometimes very similar. I was sitting with some older families because they were more well-established. They had homes, but they just the market itself for them was very hard to sell.
Yeah.
But just relating to that experience on how hard it was, and then buyer's remorse with something you just spent $7,000 on, and we're installing it the next day. If we didn't get installed the next day, I was getting a phone call. I'm thinking, I'm overthinking it, and I'm sorry, but we're not going to do this. So I'd sold several systems, but then got that phone call the next day, and it scarred me from sales because I just every time.
Yeah.
When I first started out selling insurance, actually, and got back into this, my phone started ringing. I was thinking a client was ready to cancel on me, instead of just.
Yeah. So you saw this opportunity, and you heard about it, and you jumped in right away.
No, that's false. And it's false. I know you see smiling.
I think I'm the one that actually reached out to you.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And it's funny. I'm sitting right next here to Chris. I can still remember a phone conversation that we had when I was sitting outside of my little two-bedroom townhouse about just being all in, jumping in. And if you're not ready to jump in 100%, then maybe it's not right for you right now. Mm-hmm. And I think you can attest that. You can remember that, Chris.
Yeah. You were selling cars now.
Yeah, I did. I jumped. So I did. I held off because
It wasn't the last sales job.
I only lasted that last sales job I ever had only lasted about 7 months. I'll tell you that. It was about 7 months. And about at the end of that 7 months, this position was brought to my attention by you, Zach, and you, Chris, and I held off on it. And I'm kicking myself now that I didn't start this earlier, because I went and I sold cars. I went and found success in selling cars, and it just there was no real future that I seen. Like, where are you going to go when you sell cars? You might just become
what's
a
next,
manager, right? You might become a manager, work longer hours, and I will tell you, when you're working at the dealership, you're married to the dealership.
Yeah.
You're working every Friday and Saturdays. Your money making days.
That's tough.
You're working 9 a.m. Sometimes you get somebody up on the lot at 7:30 p.m. You're there till 10 o'clock selling a car. You're a lot lizard.
So there's a lot of really good, hungry people out there that are in the car industry.
Yeah.
That have work ethic, that hustle, that do everything they can, and I just, a lot of them come over to this industry. We've talked to a lot of them, and they do amazing at this, and it's crazy to me that how much hours that they put in walking that darn lot over and over again, and like you said, the money making days are the days that all your friends are going to the lake, or the day that you want to go hang out with your kids or play something. And it's like all of those people at that location, there's one opportunity for maybe a management position or something like that.
Into the finance side or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to be a very limited opportunity. And a lot of things, just what you said of what I've heard, is a lot of people come into that because they're hungry, because they have a drive, and a lot of that's related to maybe something else in their life or growing up that they have a desire to have more and they see more for themselves. But it's always like after they put in a year or put in a time, they feel like they reach a ceiling.
Yeah.
And even they're already working 70, 80 hours, like there's not any vision beyond that. And so I want you to, what is your opinion on, like you've been in this industry for a year now, and I'm sure coming from previous sales experiences that maybe tainted some of your vision or what's possible. Like, we'll see, I'm just going to start out to make a little bit of money. Now that you're a year in, has your vision changed, or what is your vision now moving in from year 2 and beyond?
Absolutely. And one thing I would like to say is just that don't let past experiences hold you back from making life-changing decisions, to be honest with you. Because I have had those negative experiences, but with this opportunity that I've seen in just 1 year, it's crazy, but because I'm just now getting my feet wet in it, really. But there's really no ceiling. You push yourself. You can share this opportunity with as many people as you want, and I'm just looking forward to growing with it and seeing where it does end up.
Yeah. And what was your vision moving into it? You can be honest there. I'm curious because
to be honest with you, I would say it was just, it's another sales job in a way, in a way, and I found that I was having some success, especially selling cars and doing face-to-face sales, but just not being able to see where it was going to take me, and even when I first started this, I didn't see where it would really take me. But right at that, if you make it through that first year, that year is your tough. I can already tell you right now, this first year has been the toughest. But from now on, I can see a path, though. I can see a path.
Why is that?
Just because of the opportunity that's present itself, the income and the financial freedom, really. But not only that, I enjoy my free time as well. But you get out what you put into it, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. The thing I like about that and how honest you are in this is because a lot of people, when they do come into this, because of whatever past experience or whatever, they're not really looking for anything other than an income opportunity. Even though everybody that has been there, or an upline or a manager that's building a team, they see the vision because they've been through it. But the agent or the individual agent or the person that's being recruited is never hearing that because they're just trying to take care of their need number one. They're trying to survive and make money to see what's all the hype about. And it what's really cool, and I know Chris could probably agree with me, like some of our passions that we share is to see agents start seeing a different life for themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I do have a question for you, Aaron, and this is in line with, I know we have at least 5 listeners, at least 5,
5 or 6,
5 or 6 listeners.
Yeah.
For the listeners who are building and growing a team, they're probably having a lot of these conversations with people, and they're like, getting the response, now's not the right time. I'm going to continue doing this. What was it that caused you to move forward? What was it that was like, man, I do need to do that. I do need to take a chance.
I said I would say my significant other here. All right, she pushed me. I needed somebody to push me. I needed somebody to push me. She said, you know what? You are good at what you do, and you may have had these bad experiences, but you need to just do it. You need to do what you're good at. You may not have liked what you had experienced previously, but that shouldn't change what you decide in the future. So somebody, just to have somebody there push you.
Was it at that moment that you decided to propose to her?
Yes, that's when I got down on my knee right there.
I think that's very insightful. That's gold, man, because maybe you are having these conversations with agents that you are trying to bring on, and you're not, it is almost like a one-legged sit.
Yeah.
You're presenting something, not realizing that there's other people who are part of this conversation that should be in this conversation, you know, being able to take them out for dinner as a couple and share the vision of what they can accomplish for their lives. That would be an important conversation.
And I don't want to say it's like a sell to yourself, but in a way it is.
Oh, yes.
And if we know, and if you're good at sales, you know one of the most important things is having trust with whoever you're communicating with. And the fact that having somebody that you trust that can actually speak into your life is so crucial. So when you're looking at an opportunity, be fully transparent with the people in your circle that you trust, or the people that are in the agency that you trust. And you may need them to say, I believe in you, Aaron. Like, you can do this. All you have to do is apply yourself. There's no way you're going to fail. I know you can do this.
Absolutely.
And that gets you over that line. And I think some of the issues is a lot of agents or people that are currently in a good job, whatever that means, right? You know, $25,000, $30,000 salary, $40,000 salary with benefits, right?
That comfort zone.
That comfort zone, that after college, look what I got, I have this. And a lot of times they're afraid to ask the people they trust or lean on the most, or their mentor, or somebody that they can depend on what their opinion is or what it is. Because sometimes it can take that nudge, and then all of a sudden your life is completely changed to get through that.
You know, part of the conversations we do have with agents who are onboarding, we may not be able to speak to both of them, you know, about this conversation. But if you are having these conversations with agents onboarding, we do tell them, like, hey, talk it over with your spouse or your significant other about what we're talking about here. And if they have any questions, we are more than happy to sit down. We can grab dinner. We can go over this together and see what this looks like for you guys.
Yeah, it's huge to have just that supporting cast. And you might not have a significant other, or you might just have a family member, or just another friend, or really you just look to somebody who's already in this business that we already have working with us. Because, man, if you just look at the people that we have, or the agents that we have, they're no different than you and I, or the next person sitting right next to you, Zach. You know, it's really just the will and the drive and the self-motivation, and just being able to find that inside you and wanting to take a leap of faith, you know. And once you do, I can assure you, I'm right at that year mark, but it's the best jump you'll take.
Very cool.
So
I've always learned that Zach is just like everybody else. I mean, he sells at a very high level, but except, you know, he puts his pants on just like everybody else with the police system and robots that he gets lowered into.
Yeah. Right. I've never heard you use that one for me. It was always for you, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
But going like this, lowering him into his gold-plated pants.
And I think the cool thing is, you know, and I tell people this all the time, like, we all have the same exact ability, right? We all have the same exact ability. It's who's going to decide to put it to use.
Who's going to work.
Who's going to work.
Yeah.
It's really, that's all it is.
You know, I was listening to a podcast today that talked about habits, 21 days. You know, it takes 21 days to form a habit. And door knocking, you work in this door knocking area. You work leads. You're doing final expense, so you're going to see people at their homes. You don't have appointments that are set. You might set it at the door and things like that. But even a person who is awful, if they would commit to 21 days, even if the worst leads, what we would, you know, whoever considers what is the worst lead, if you would commit to 21 days, I promise you would see results. You would be way better than day one, and you would like it. I promise you would like it after 21 days.
You need to have some rules with that.
Okay, what are the rules?
The rules is you have to have a schedule. Schedule yourself.
True.
And you're not allowed to complain. No negative talk, no negative energy at all.
Yeah.
Because that's
the hardest part.
But you know what's interesting
part
to me?
right there is the negativity.
You're right. But here's the interesting thing. If you made a commitment and decided, you would do it. You could do it, right? And if you had those rules of a schedule and that, like, Aaron, if I sat, 10, baseballs in front of you, and I said, you do not get to watch a video, no videos, but in 21 days, I want to see if you can juggle these baseballs. And
10 at once?
It doesn't. No, we won't say 10. We'll say 4. We'll say 4.
Okay.
Okay. And at the end of this 21 days, I'm going to give you $100,000. You can't watch a video. I promise you'd figure out how to do it.
I'm gonna juggle him with a blindfold.
Right. Yeah. You would figure it out. You would figure it out.
Yeah. And I'll say a hack to that is it's a mental hack, and I don't know if this works for everybody, but I'll tell you, Chris. Like, I'm very highly self-disciplined person, self-motivated. Like, I don't use a lot of outside motivation. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I'm not good enough to commit to something for 21 days, but I'm good enough to commit to one day at a time, 21 times in a row.
Okay.
That's
Let
the
me
difference.
do the math on that. Hold on.
Yeah, but here's the difference.
21
Here's the
days.
difference. I can convince myself to work hard and give it everything I got and be positive for one day.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
I can't convince myself to do that for 21 days, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully that steam and that fire and that voice in my head is still there. I can't. So all I have to do is recommit each day, one time, and I can get to 21 days. I can get to 99 days.
Yeah.
But it's recommitting. You can always trick yourself, work hard for one day. And it's hard to work hard for an entire week. It's hard to work hard for a month. But you can always work hard for one day. Just convince yourself to do that
I'll
every
tell you
day.
right now, this business is 99% mental. You know,
It
it's
is.
a mental battle, and you have to stay level-headed. If you are going up and down, you're going to be miserable.
You're talking about the emotional
side. And that, for me personally, maybe other people's experiences are different, but I've always had to try to stay level-headed because that negativity can swarm you. Because I'll tell you, just the other day, I knocked on a door and I got threatened to get punched in the face before
I owe you an
off the
apology for
property.
that. I shouldn't have said that to you.
Don't knock
That
on Chris's door before noon.
That wasn't cool of me.
But, you know,
I take it back.
You're going to see it all. You're going to see it all. But I
Punched
could
in
have
the
packed
face.
up and went home.
Yeah.
But I went and I knocked on the next door, and I'll tell you, it was the sweetest, nicest
Isn't that
80-year-old lady that she needed all the insurance.
She needed it all.
She needed all of it, right?
All of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just how many people would have been able to hit that reset and understand that all I got to do is commit to this simple process. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So very successful, and I think that speaks to a lot of your consistency. Is maintaining that levelness. What do you do? I guess what contributes to having this emotional intelligence to stay in the game and stay level a lot?
I just like to try to stay in my belief system, and it's a numbers game, basically, as far as how many people you're going to talk with. There's all different kinds of people. I'm a big person on looking at the psychology of the sale and just knowing who you're talking with. And you're going to meet people that have bad days. Obviously, you're going to catch people on bad days. But you just can't let their emotions come off on you, necessarily, and just get you down, because you never know what's going to be behind the next door you knock on or the next person you talk to. So it's just trying to find that consistency, and once you find that consistency and you understand where you're at, it's hard to explain, but that's where the success is. That's where, for me at least.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say that I do know about you, Aaron, is you are pretty good about staying connected as well. Like I think that would be a contributor to your mindset. Like I know you reach out to Zach on a regular basis, and it's not like you're calling and say, "Hey man, I need this giant pep talk." I do hear him singing to you on occasion, which is really weird. I don't understand it, but
Well,
He's got a nice voice.
he does.
he puts me on speakerphones with his clients, and we do it.
You are the wind beneath my wings. No, but
You just put a tear in about half the agent's cars right now.
But I do think that is a big part of it too, like having that self-awareness.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, some guy just threatened to punch me in the face, which could be kind of funny,
I laugh it off now.
Yes.
I laugh it off now.
Yeah. And at the same time saying, hey, bro, I'm having a day. I'm having a day here. Can we talk for a minute?
Dude, this is bigger. This is bigger than what you're saying, Chris, because that's so important, because there's a lot of agents out there that have call it ego, pride, or whatever.
They put themselves on an island.
And they do that because they don't want to ask for help, or they want to be the person that says, I need a reset. And that's one thing I appreciate you. Like, you're a top producer, yet you do reach out and say, hey, man, I just need to call you. I need a reset. Like, you say that. Like, I need a reset. And
I feel like if I voice it out loud to myself, because I say it to myself in the car, but if I just call somebody and just voice it out loud, they don't even have to tell me. They just have to sit there and just shake their head.
Now, I will say this. You got to be careful who you call, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes you can dial that wrong phone number, and all of a sudden, I know what you mean, man. These leads are garbage, or
you're right.
And then all of a sudden, it's just instead of fixing and repairing your mindset, you're diving deeper into it. Next thing you know, you got a 45-minute conversation on the side of the road, talking to your buddy. Right?
You're right.
I do have a question, Aaron. And I'm always thinking of the people who are listening, who are building, who are trying to grow their age. I'm thinking about you cats. But as we're talking about this, like, I know I'm really putting you on the spot here. You're in the hot seat. What are some key things that you think you needed from your upline, from the organization, for you to be successful?
Well, for me personally,
we need 21 of them, by the way.
21.
Just kidding. No, just
me
a couple.
Personally, I wanted to try to hunt out who was the best at this, who I could just pick one little piece of information. If I could just find one little bit of information off of our top producers, or anybody who has found the slightest bit of success in this, and just take that and then kind of morph it into my own. And then that's how I have found that early success. I just had straight conversation, especially with Zach. I know he's a huge top producer when he was in the field. Jimmy, I've had conversations. I've run on a few ride-alongs. I went on a ride-along with Carol, and just pick up little bits and pieces from people who are successful at this, and then just morph it into my own.
That's awesome.
That's great. So a willingness to give people the opportunity to come and see, like, in their system, they need to be able to model, like a modeling piece to this.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good.
But be yourself with it. You know, you're not trying to go out there, and I'm not trying to be a Zach out there. I'm Aaron. So I'm going out there. I'm telling my own bad jokes. And
Exactly.
I always like to try to lighten up the mood a little bit. But no, that's one big thing that I found success in.
Now, if you had to hit reset right now, and today was your very first day in this industry, okay, but you have all the knowledge and experience that you have right now, what do you think your year one how different would year one have been for you?
I'd say it'd be a lot less stressful. Just that mental battle again. I just revert back to it, and just knowing that if you go out and you work every single lead that you have to the best of your ability, you're going to find success. And just
so your first thing is you would probably work a little harder.
I would say,
and you would.
I'd be way more efficient.
You'd be way more efficient.
That's for sure.
And you would put less emotion on the leads and just work every lead.
And you can't beat yourself up when you start out, because you're not going to be the most efficient agent out there.
Would you still took 2 months off?
It still did.
He's
you
like,
keep bringing it up now.
He's like, yes, I would.
Would you do it again?
Yes. That's a yes,
actually,
dude.
yes, I did. I enjoyed my time off. I did. But it's the opportunity that this position presents itself with. So that's
absolutely
that's huge.
The thing I see that are key ingredients to this for you, Aaron, if you are building, or if you are starting your organization, is having the opportunity for leads to go see people. I mean, that's an easy one. Having a system that people can follow that is proven, a proven system. But this is, I think, a piece that is missing that I really love that you're communicating, is giving your agents the ability to adapt it to themselves.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
It has to be your
Elaborate
voice.
on that. What does that mean?
I think there are some people who, when they're building their organization, think that they need robots. They just need a robot. If you repeat the words that I say, you will get applications. But it doesn't work. Like if I can't sell like Zach. I can't. We've done sales together.
They've been a lot of fun.
And he can't sell like me.
Nope.
He can't.
Not at all.
And I can get away with saying things that Zach probably can't say in a set. And Zach can get away with things that I probably couldn't get away with saying. So
You get away with a lot.
It just doesn't feel natural. It just doesn't feel natural when you try to say somebody else's whole entire presentation.
Right.
You're just sitting there trying to write it down word for word, note for note. Now I'll take one little bit or piece that I say from each one, and then I morph it into my own. That's where I like.
That's where it's
now
like,
I got a little bit of Zach in me. I got a little bit of Jimmy in me, and and that's just the process that I found successful.
Yeah, exactly.
The system is for guardrails. You still have to drive in a specific direction.
Just like when Chris goes bowling, he pulls all the bumpers.
I pull up the bumpers.
He never
That's
misses
what
the
you gotta
pins.
do. You feel good about it.
If you're going to find success in anything, hunt out the people that's successful in it.
That's great.
Talk to them. Have a conversation.
That's great advice.
It can only help you. That's for sure. It can only help you.
What's Aaron Hicks going to accomplish in year 2?
Well, I'm looking to get my first house. We're looking to buy our first house, and not only that, we're looking to plan a beautiful wedding.
That's awesome.
So
it's a big year.
two big life events that
And
we're
so obviously both of
year
those cost a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
So how does your goals and what you're setting out to accomplish this year personally, how is that related to your targets and what you want to accomplish professionally?
That just helps you. For me personally, it gives you that motivation again, because when you first start out, it's something new. You might have your own reasons just to be successful and be motivated, but after a whole year, I got to reflect back and see what I want to accomplish this next year, and then what is going to motivate me to go out and work, and what's going to motivate me to make sure that I'm not having that 1 o'clock start, or that now all of a sudden I'm getting out at noon, or I'm taking another week off this time. So I've cut back the vacation weeks a little bit, but I've upped the
You
production.
went now from 8 to 6.
Up the production there.
Yeah.
So
That's all. But that's the beauty. Like, you can do that.
Absolutely.
Like, this is a business to where you're able to craft it and grow it the way you want, and not the way somebody else wants you to want it.
absolutely.
And you can do that to where you take, like, there would be nothing more proud than me and Chris sitting here saying, wow, Aaron works 7 months for the year, and he's accomplishing everything he wants to accomplish personally. He's financially stable and secure. He's very happy as a person, which is very important. And look, he's going to all the music festivals. He's going to the Power Producers trips and Carrier trips for free. He's going on his own vacations. He's going to California to get married. I mean, doing all this cool stuff. But it's because you can.
Absolutely.
And that's like, I love that. I love that. I want people to be able to accomplish what they want and how they want to do it without sacrificing something on the financial end or their family having to sacrifice because of the decision you made.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of opportunities out there that you have to sacrifice. Like I told you, when I was working at the dealership, it's 50, 60-hour weeks there if you want to make the income that you want every Friday, every Saturday. And
how many Saturdays have you worked in the insurance business?
You put me on the spot here. I've worked a couple, maybe 2.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've probably worked.
But
2
you could
myself.
ask him how many Tuesdays has he worked. It's probably 2.
Hey,
No.
It's every Tuesday. I'll tell you, Monday is your biggest day. Monday and Tuesday. Those are your
I would
2
agree with
biggest
that.
days.
Yeah.
And then you skip until Thursday.
I know of 8 that you didn't.
At least, right? Yeah, for sure.
You have, and the cool thing in this business, like year 1 is, man, I just gotta go to work, survive, pay my bills.
Yeah.
Your vision expands. You have a couple of guys that are coming on, and now it's Hicks Inc.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Hicks Inc. yet.
18.
What is it?
18.
18?
I don't know. I just
Oh,
came
the-
up with
the
it.
18?
Yeah,
The
18 came up
yeah.
with it.
I know you're now looking to building something, which if you do it right, it does give you more time to do what you want and have what you want. What are you hoping to instill in these guys? They're probably listening.
Man,
Listen up close, guys, because
I just want to share this vision with them, because I didn't even have this vision when I started out. I'll tell you right now, even at the early success that I found, I still had those days where I'll tell you now, Chris, where I pulled off to the side of the road and I just took a second thinking, what am I doing? why am I at this random McDonald's in Bardstown, Kentucky, and I'm just knocking on doors?
There's
and
nothing
there's
sadder than
there's-
crying and eating a breakfast burrito in the McDonald's parking lot. I've never done
tell
it.
you.
I have no idea what I'm
I'll tell
talking
you.
about.
I'll tell
The
them.
difference of that, Chris, is most agents that are going through that emotionally probably aren't early enough to get the breakfast burrito at McDonald's in Barstow.
That's
you're
true.
right. You're right. But no, it's just those mental battles. But just looking to get over, stay positive, and honestly, just getting through that first year, and you can see that vision. You can
Cool,
see
man.
yourself.
And I tell you, I love the growth mindset that's kicked in. You know, I know we've talked about that previous, but I know you had personal things that you were looking to accomplish and still find that vision and craft that belief for yourself. And I can see that coming too. And as you're starting to grow and develop your team, the cool thing that I respect about you is your consistency, your ability to maintain and be level and know what it's going to take to be successful and know what it takes to fail. And then how you can translate that being real with somebody and that trust that you create with your clients, also your agents, to instill that in them, to give them the best chance of going through that gauntlet of the first year. And I tell people all the time, you make it through the first year, you're set for the rest of your life, because nobody can erase that confidence, that skill set, that grit that you develop in that first year when you're successful in the first year, right? So I think that's really cool, and you know, I'm excited to see your team grow and continue to get big. I'm excited to see the next level of vision for you, because believe it or not, there's visions beyond what you have set to accomplish this year, right?
Yeah.
And Chris knows it as well. There's levels to this.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see when you start to realize what's on that horizon for you, as far as you and your family and your team on the next level.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to know this guy's name. Cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we're going to have Aaron back later on, and he's going to show you guys that he put in the time to juggle. And he's going to show you how to juggle. I'm putting him on the spot. We'll see if it works. I'm kidding. But guys, hey, Aaron, thanks a lot for being here.
Hey,
we
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me. Thanks for
Absolutely,
having me.
man. Absolutely. If you have any questions for Aaron, you can reach out to us on our socials. We're on the Facebook machines. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. You might even see us there right this minute. And also check out lifeinsuranceacademy.org. We offer courses. We offer training. We offer coaching. We have a lot of great stuff there. But thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next Life Insurance Academy podcast.